I love hosting and having dinner parties, so this week I had some friends over for a shell-themed dinner party, and I made spaghetti alla vongole, seared scallops, shell cheese bites, chips and caviar, shell butter, a gem Caesar salad, filet and shrimp surf and turf, shell madeleines, and shell meringues. I got started making my pasta dough for my spaghetti alla vongole, also known as spaghetti and clams. I then thinned out my pasta dough, cut out the spaghetti, and added lots of flour so nothing stuck together. And then I made my shell butter, adding it to the molds and refrigerating those. I chopped up some chives and mixed that with butter for my scallops. I seared the scallops, then added the chive butter to some seashells with the scallops. Then I added my sea salt kettle chips, caviar, and creme fraiche. I rolled some Boursin cheese into a ball and baked my little seashells, and then formed the seashell cheese bites. And here are our appetizers. I then removed the shell butter from the molds, toasted some breadcrumbs, and started assembling the salad. I added on some Caesar dressing, the toasted breadcrumbs, Parmesan, and a little lemon juice. And here is our gem Caesar salad and shell butter. I then made some champagne cocktails in our shell glasses, which were so cute. And then I got everything prepped for the spaghetti alla vongole. I seasoned our fillets and started searing those, added them to the oven, and started working on the shrimp and the clam sauce. I added in the shrimp, mixed that up, and then added the clams to their sauce and let those simmer till they opened up. I added in the pasta, and here is the final product for our dinner. It turned out so good. And then earlier in the day, I started browning some butter for the madeleines. I started mixing together the dry ingredients and then whipped up the eggs with the sugar and started adding everything together. I then buttered the shell madeleine mold and let that refrigerate with the dough, and then got those baking in the oven, and they turned out so cute. I then melted some white chocolate, added that to the madeleine molds, and pressed the madeleines in and refrigerated that so I could pop them out, and they looked like the cutest little seashells. And then I started working on my shell meringues. I piped the shells on the back of a half circle silicone mold and then baked those in the oven for a long time. And then I added some homemade whipped cream and raspberries to the shell meringues. And here is the final product for our desserts.